Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Boys Play D&D. This week we'll be continuing our playthrough of the Ghost of Saltmarsh. We took last week off from this campaign because I simply didn't prepare. So, last session, the boys explored through a ship of the now-dead smugglers. They came across various different treasures and locked boxes and secret hideouts along the way. Amidst their exploration, they did find a group of lizard men occupying one of the cabins on board the ship. After a brief period of the lizard men asking Wendell, I guess, who he was, and a bit of an exchange, the lizard men realized that, hey, this isn't a part of the smuggling crew, and they openly attacked. The boys had a bit of a tough fight with a few people going down, but ultimately they prevailed over the lizard men and started looting around their room as well. Wendell, after having walked into the lizard men room first, was approached by a pseudo dragon by the name of Bims, who formed a bond with Wendell. The boys did a bit more exploring, and then with a clever use of the Gust of Wind spell, along with me not reading the Gust of Wind spell fully, used it to kind of steer their ship properly back into port with some expert sailing rolls done by Richard, Gringus, and Gore. So we ended the last session with the boys pulling into the port at Saltmarsh at, say, about 10:30 at night. It's pretty late. Yeah.
Didn't we row out to the boat in darkness?
Yep.
And it's only 10:30?
11:30.
Oh.
It's Saltmarsh has a uniform day-night cycle. It doesn't shift through the seasons. So
It's very near the equator.
yep. Even though it still gets snow. Oh wait, I think Gringus does not come through Discord. Alright, I am trying a new stream setup, so I might need to turn myself up a bit. Is that better? We don't know yet. We'll find out.
Hang on. It's a little bit better, but you can still go up a bit more.
I'm worried that if I go up too much more, we're going to hear the ambience from my background because I don't know how to set up noise filtration on this software.
Okay.
So
it should be okay, I think. It sounded about the same as like cold noise, so it should be good.
All right. I can turn you guys down a touch too. All right. So yeah, with that, you guys pull up into port pretty late at night. And kind of before you can do much of anything at all, you hear the sound of, I guess, marching feet on the dock approaching you. And you hear a gruff voice yell from the dock, "Who goes there?"
We'll just go, "Hi, I'm Wendell. What's your name?"
Wendell. The little guy?
I'll cast lights on my little cage on my stick and go, "Hi! Yeah, that's me."
You hear, well, I guess now that you're looking over with the light, you see a familiar face in Eleander, accompanied by a group of 6 guards. I didn't expect... I didn't expect you to come back in this ship.
Yeah, neither did we. It just kind of happened like that.
He kind of like points to the guards to like produce the gangplank so you guys can cross to the dock.
Alright.
I take it was a success then.
Yeah. There's not a lot of, I don't think there's any more smugglers aboard. Although I didn't check the lowest level. Sounded really wet.
I'll send the guards aboard to give it a look. It's getting pretty late. You guys should head in for the night.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
now, before we go, you should also send some medically trained people to look over one of the prisoners we found. And I gestured to the elf guy.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about him.
I thought he was, like, up and walking with us was the thing. But, yeah, probably still a good idea.
He kind of points at one of the guards and go fetch someone. And the guard kind of jogs off. A prisoner, you say? That wasn't expected of the smugglers.
Yeah, we found him in, like, a room. There was no, like, door to. He was, like, hidden. Oh, no, man. It was weird.
Quite curious indeed. And he only speaks in Elvish, so it is troublesome to question him.
I'm looking up if Eleander can speak Elvish. Because I don't actually know. Well, you know what? In this universe, he doesn't. Can one of you speak Elvish? I think the two people that can speak Elvish in the group are on the phone with their kid and not here tonight.
I do speak Elvish. Apparently.
Could you ask him if he'd be, if he'd like to stay in an inn? We're willing to put him up for the night.
Alright. And
Thumbs up and be like, that's super generous. Nice.
It's not every day that prisoners from a smuggler ship come along. And inn rooms are plentiful and cheap.
I just kind of sagely nod, even though I have no idea what he's talking about.
I guess Gringus, as you ask. Oceanus kind of... I don't know if I ever told you his name. Your prisoner... No, I did tell you the name. He feebly nods and starts going towards the guards across the now erected gangplank.
Yeah, beauty.
We're 15. But yes, we'll handle whatever we need to with this boat and give it another once over. If you guys could meet us in the council hall tomorrow morning. You look pretty beat up.
Yeah, I'm really tired. Maybe I'll have a nap.
guess we'll see you in the morning.
Alright. I'll take... I think... Is Bim still just on my shoulder?
Yep.
Okay. I'll wave goodbye to everyone and go, alright, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And just look at Bims. Wave goodbye, Bims.
He just does that thing that cats do where they like turn their head at a 45-degree angle. And then does nothing.
And then I'll head back to the Wicked Goat.
Alright. So I guess as you walk down the gangplank, just following Oceanus, the guards that were standing there kind of split so you can walk between them. Eleander tries to give you guys a handshake as you walk by.
Definitely shake his hand. Like, over enthusiastically.
I'll shake it normally.
It's a pretty firm handshake.
I give it like a one pumper handshake and grip as hard as Bobson can, which isn't very hard.
All right. So does, I guess, anybody want to do anything aside from just sleeping?
Nope. I'm going home.
Yeah, it's like 5 hours past Bobson's bedtime.
Yeah, Wendell's pretty beat at the moment, too. He had to run, like, super fast earlier. It was taxing.
Did he?
Yeah, Expeditious Retreat.
Oh, right. All right. So you guys kind of all head back to your respected rooms and finally get to have a long rest.
Hey.
And with that long rest comes the promised level 3.
Yay.
But goddamn time.
Man, I should have, like, just... I knew this was happening. I don't know why I didn't just, like, fix D&D Beyond. One second. Gore's the healthiest boy alive.
Hell yeah, he is.
God. My items list is so huge.
Well, because you've been picking up all the junk, right?
I just pick up everything.
If I was smart, I would have put these spells in my character sheet earlier. But I'm not smart.
But alas.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll give you guys a few minutes here to put in your level 3s. Yeah.
I'm just gonna find out how many spells I can prepare at this level.
Oh god, it's hit points rolling time.
Oh, you haven't rolled your HP yet? You did crit yours.
Did I?
Yeah. You have 28 HP in D&D Beyond.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, anybody that did roll their HP, I have your level 3s done in D&D Beyond, aside from Kalendal, and that's it, because he hasn't been here for a few sessions. I guess I didn't, like, pick spells and stuff, but... Alright, now that level 3, Kraken shows up. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh.
Just stay in bed at the Wicker Goat.
How many level 1 commoners could a Kraken fight?
I mean, you could probably math that out if you really wanted to. I remember finding an encounter, like, math program somewhere.
That just says who would win if this versus this?
Basically, it was like, it would run it 100 times. You'd enter in, like, whatever information. Chance to hit, armor class, all that stuff, health.
Mm.
And it would give you, like, say it was, like, say commoners versus the Kraken, right? It would give you the percentage of the commoners winning versus the percentage of the Kraken winning.
Right.
We should make a calculator that you just put in a monster, and it tells you how many commoners you'd need to guarantee killing that monster.
Ooh, there you go.
You could never guarantee it.
Yeah, well, I guess with the law of averages you can.
Yeah.
It would be a big
Yeah.
fucking number for a lot of creatures, because commoners suck.
Yeah.
Yep,
Actually, would they even be able to hit it?
that's a good question.
Well, I mean, yeah, unless it had above 20 AC. So there would be
Well,
some
commoners
creatures.
can even, like, commoners can crit, right? So it doesn't matter what the creature's AC.
Hmm.
Oh, is
They're
a crit always
eventually-
a guarantee hit?
Yeah.
Ah.
So, there is some number of commoners that can kill anything eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes to like creatures with regen or like damage thresholds, if they'd be able to do enough damage.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
probably
sufficiently
not.
high level troll. Probably they couldn't.
I was thinking like the Tarrasque or something.
Mhm.
Alright.
Still
do
fun
you-
thought experiment.
Do you guys still need a few more minutes on the level 3?
I'm good.
I'm just doing spells, so you can go whenever. I just have 2 more to enter, and then I'm good to go. So whenever you want.
I foresee us fighting somebody with a quarterstaff tonight.
Hey, you can't possibly
I mean-
have known that.
Bob.
Hey, I'm a
seems to be the one to
divination
know.
wizard.
True.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my 2 portent dice here.
Alright, alright. Oh, that was great. I love that noise. Ooh. So some good numbers. Oh yeah, I do need
Unless I really wanted somebody to fail a saving throw. But yes, they're great numbers that I can replace my like attack rolls with.
Alright, I do need... Why can't I edit this handout that I made? What is happening? Oh, because this tab is not in GM mode. That explains why everything was... I was having like a mini panic attack because nothing I prepped was there.
Ah, that would be unfortunate.
Alright, so I guess people who are done their level, I need you guys to roll 2d7s. Oh, a 6. All right. And I need someone to roll a d20. All right, all right, all right. All right, so next day, everything normal happens. Sun rises, town starts to awaken. What do you guys do as you all rise from your separate chambers? So I think at this point, everybody's kind of randomly sleeping in different spots. Still.
I'll get up, get Bims and I some breakfast, and then head to the council chamber.
Bob's been up for hours because he's old. He has the prostate the size of a watermelon. He had to pee like 30 times. And he's just sitting at the bar eating a grapefruit with a spoon.
Did you at least put sugar on it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He's not a psychopath.
Well, he's old.
Going to the council house.
Sigvold wakes up, makes a blood orange screwdriver, and heads to the council house.
Nice.
Oh no. All right. So you guys kind of meet up with each other at the council house because you conveniently all wake up at the same time and get there at roughly the same time.
Convenient.
And are greeted by the familiar face of person whose name I don't remember because I haven't DM'd this campaign in 2 weeks. You'd think Ida. Not a complicated name.
Nope.
Good morning, boys. Wait.
Morning.
You know what? We're going with it.
Mm.
Eleander has filled me in.
Oh,
Please come in. We'll talk. She kind of slowly opens a door and gestures you guys all into the council hall, into the same familiar room that you're used to going to. And upon walking in, you're greeted with the same familiar faces, with the set of council members, although this time Anders is not present.
implications.
There is a new face present this time, though. Someone who, none of you recognize.
It's Charles Axel.
Oh no.
Not Joralaxel. Or is it?
Has to be.
You'll never know.
We already know it is. Guaranteed.
So, could you guys fill me in on what happened? Eleander discussed some stuff with me, but I'd like the first-hand account.
We disposed of the smugglers and rowed their ship back.
Well,
That's about it.
I suppose I didn't expect much else. Did you find anything on the ship?
Perhaps.
I point to Bims. Well, I found this guy. He's real nice. His name's Bims.
We found an elf.
An elf?
Yes. His name was Giannis, I believe.
We
Interesting.
pointed that out to Aleander. I don't know why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't either. And Leander kind of just... It was late, all right.
Wait, was he? I thought you said he wasn't there.
Eleander?
Yeah.
No,
He's
I
the guy
said...
that met us there.
Yeah, I said, holy shit.
Anders.
Yep,
Oh,
Anders wasn't
right.
there.
I misheard then.
Yes, they said there was a prisoner on board, an elf by the name of Oceanus. We put him up in the inn. He was looking rather sickly. And they kind of whispered between them, the two of them, for a few seconds. Well, we had the guards search through the boat a little bit too to see if, you know, they could notice anything you guys missed, and they did a pretty thorough check and didn't find too much else. Do you know if... do you guys have a good idea if it's the end of the smugglers or if there happens to be more?
Well, we found these, and I'll show them all the maps and shit I've picked up. And the letters.
All right. So Ida takes the pile of stuff from you, and they kind of lay them out on the table, and they all go through them a little slowly, piece by piece. When Ida's reading through the love letter, she blushes a little bit. But you notice that there's one particular scuffed-looking letter that, when they as they individually read through it, they all seem a little concerned. And that's particularly the... let me find my notes. One day, I swear I'll be a good DM. I won't. But I'll be here, and that's what's important.
True.
How is this thing gone? Ah. This one, as they read over, they're all very concerned about.
Ah, yes, signed by X Snake.
The next clone of Big Boss.
Cross Snake.
Cross Snake. Solid Snake scuffed brother. Alright, so... Well, as promised, and Eleander kind of pulls out, or slides a big sack across the table.
Ugh.
There's 450 gold pieces in here.
Gringus's eyes go extremely wide, and he's vibrating with excitement.
Wendell
Alright.
is also like, that's more money than I've ever seen in one place ever.
And then Ida also pipes up. We noticed there was a fair amount of, well, smuggled goods on that ship. If you're willing to return them, we will pay you for them.
I mean, yeah, they were, like, stolen, right? They should probably go back to whoever lost them.
Well, these smugglers aren't necessarily stealing. They're importing into Keeland to avoid paying dock fees.
Earl just scratches his head and doesn't understand what she's talking about.
So you'll pay us for these? And he drops a big crate of 20 electrum ingots on the table.
That's a lot of ingots. The council kind of looks puzzled at each other. That's not something people would import. They kind of scruff between each other a little bit. And they're like, we'll gladly take those from you if you want, but they're not stolen goods. They might have come from, trade of stolen goods, but they talk a little bit more amongst themselves. We can give you 50% of the value of them, since they're related to stolen goods.
Gringus looks around at the party.
Just go.
That sounds like a good deal to me.
Heard a word anybody said. It's too loud in here.
All right, it's a deal.
All right. So she motions to Eleander, who slides you guys another sack of 200 GP, and then she walks kind of into a storage room that's off the room they're in, and you hear some locks clicking and some shuffling around, and a few minutes later, she comes back with another sack with 1,000 GP in it, I think. Yeah.
How many ways do we get to split this?
So the total for the quest now is 1650, and it's up to you how many ways you split it, I guess.
A lot of coin.
Between everybody.
It's what was the third value?
1,000.
God
So the
dang.
total was 1650.
Yeah.
Divided by 8?
6 or 7, depending on if you're including Brett, who wasn't here for any of this part of the adventure.
And Richard?
And yeah, 6 would include Richard, who was here for all of it but today.
Alright. Dividing it by 7 then?
Sounds good.
235.71.
Alright.
Alright, I will add 235 to Richard's sheet. Un moment. Ida does pull out a notebook. Who should I... for the coffers and accounting purposes, who am I making this payment out to?
Tell him, Bob. So
Well, we could do that. I also had an idea.
I'll just like point to Bims.
I mean, he would be a really cool mascot, right? Why don't we, like, call ourselves Bim's Privateers? Or something like that. Or we could go with Bobson's idea, too. That doesn't sound bad either.
She's patiently waiting with her ink quill.
name ourselves after some tiny dragon we just found.
Pseudo dragon, it's an amazing.
The best idea we've heard.
Abel doesn't care. He's thinking about how he's going to spend his money. He's not even paying attention.
Yeah. Well, write down whatever. Gringus is gonna grab the sacks of gold feverishly and start counting them out.
Nice.
Alright, well, since it was the only one suggested, she writes down Bim's Privateers.
Perfect.
Nice.
Rest in peace, Saltmarsh Slag.
Yeah, we still have to name the boat too.
True.
We could name it the Saltmarsh Leg.
So, as this is going down and Ida starts writing, the face you guys didn't recognize sitting in the corner pipes up. The name's Regis. Regis Appleton.
Hey, I'm Wendell Tosspot.
I just look around at everybody else in the group. I'm like, did one of you just ask him?
I didn't hear it. Someone did.
Now
I forgot my mic was muted. I was going to say, who asked you?
now that he's talking and you guys kind of look at him more, he is, like, very exquisitely dressed.
Jarlaxle.
And, like,
Yeah.
if you've seen him in real life, you'd probably think he's an asshole. Like, that's kind of the
Relaxel.
very pompous way he presents himself. Like, he would fully, if he was, like, a judge, be wearing a pompadour wig.
You are a councilman?
No, actually. I'm here on, well, straight from the king.
Oh wow.
Who's the king?
Uh,
Oh.
All our viewers would know this, I assume.
yeah, his name is Kimberto Scotty.
Good old King Scotty.
I even have a picture of him. Not of this guy, of the king.
Please be ancient.
So I need to find it and figure out the best way to pop it up. Does that work?
Oh yeah.
Click that and hit Shift Z.
Click and Shift Z. Oh,
Nice.
That's a
That's
king.
that's what the king looks like. Although he's not
Nice.
actually here. His representative is. He continues, I'm here on official business, but Ida mentioned that I might be interested in the conversation that was taking place. Very good work dealing with those smugglers. We constantly have to fight with those things. Those people.
No problem. We were paid well.
And I actually have a further proposition. So typically, when smugglers are dealt with through contract or other means, we commandeer their vessel as payment for the damage they've done. However, you guys seem like a very eager group of, well, adventurers. We'd be willing to let you keep the vessel, and would also throw in we'd pay for a crew to man the vessel for you for an entire year on the premise that you help the king and the crown when requested. Or sorry, help the council and the crown when requested.
Very generous offer, but what sort of assistance would the council and His Majesty be requesting of us?
Well, the immediate things I can think of is things like this, dealing with other smugglers that happen to show up in the area. Potentially help with some espionage missions in the future if a war does break out with the Sea Princes to the south. More likely, though, things would be a bit smaller. We're not sure yet. We just like to have people that are willing to help, and usually those people react well to money.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Any jobs we do send you on in the future would also be paid, of course.
Well,
The option to turn them down.
He scowls a little bit at that statement. Yes, with the repercussions being we no longer fund the crew and take back the ship.
I don't want to agree to any future missions that will get us killed before we even know what those are. You have to understand.
Yes, and I'd give you a better description of them if we had them. We just don't know what those missions are right now.
well, if they're as profitable as this one was, I'm inclined to say yes.
Oh, massive
that's
paid adventure on a boat. I'm in.
This is the most excitement I've seen in my entire life. I'm definitely all for this.
Gore would just let the group decide for him because he kind of doesn't want to, but he'll go along with whatever the majority decides.
But in the meantime, we got free reign of the ship till you call for us? Or
Yes.
does it have to sit here?
No, if there's no immediate need by the council or the king, you have a crew for a reason.
What reason would that be?
Whatever you want it to be.
Hanging a crew is at our disposal until we're called upon.
Oh,
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Do we really need a crew, though?
I think it's a pretty big boat, right?
Be
Oh, yeah.
constantly casting gust of wind.
Yeah, I'll read Gust of Wind next time. And technically, to properly and efficiently sail a ship of this size, you do need a crew of about 12 people, I think the book says.
The 12 disciples.
One of them's gonna be
Well,
Judas.
Oh no!
Um,
Looks suspiciously a Kaelin doll.
do you guys happen to know where would talk about boats? Would that be the player's handbook or the DMG?
I think a lot of the boat rules were printed in Saltmarsh in one of the
Yeah.
appendices.
Yeah, based on whatever type of boat it is, it has like a stat block.
Oh yeah, they were all printed in Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Sigvald wants to crew because he'd rather just sit and drink while we sail.
Well, Bobson, are you in?
Suppose.
I guess we're all in accord.
I believe this thing is about the size of a sailing ship. It's a bit smaller than a sailing ship, and a sailing ship requires 25 sailors.
Jesus!
So,
Yikes.
yeah, technically, you guys shouldn't
Wait.
even have been able to sail the boat back together, but I thought it was clever, and I didn't want to RP us having to come out back to get the boat. And yeah,
What do they all do on the boat? Do they have to row it?
you gotta man the sails, man. Commoners aren't nearly as jacked as Gringus and Gore. Takes a lot of effort. And, you know, gotta repair general shit and be fire cannons if there's cannons. And
This is old-timey boats. It's a lot of fucking bullshit all the time.
Yeah. Like those, the rigging of the sails alone, just for one side, is like a 3-person job.
Plus, you need a crew for the night, too.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 separate shifts.
2 separate shifts of 12, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, you need a guy chilling in the crow's nest the whole time. Important job.
Yeah. Gore's or Gringus's favorite napping point.
But, like, you probably could sail a ship with less people. Like, if you had half the crew, you could just anchor down every night. And then I'm guessing if you even had less people, you could inefficiently sail, because, you know, people would, like, drop their riggings, and you guys have to, like, recover and go off course a bit.
Well,
Probably, yeah.
I think we'll take your deal.
Well, that's a pleasure. And he stands up to shake your guys' hands. He's pretty stubby and chubby when he stands up.
Oh,
Like Gringus.
Yeah, pretty much like Gringus, but a human.
A man after me own heart. Just gonna like reach up and shake his hand. He probably has to like pick me up a little bit or like bend down super far.
Our Ida's pipes back in now. Well, with that sorted, What's the sleight of hand for?
I shake his hand.
Oh. All right. Yeah, Eda pipes back up. Well, with that all sorted, I'm imagining this pays a little bit better than your day jobs.
Oh, yeah. Like a lot
Yeah.
better.
Definitely.
Oh, who would have guessed that?
Tired before centuries.
We at the Council of Saltmarsh would much appreciate if you guys would walk over to the guardhouse and help the town out with some of the well, for lack of a better word, quests that they've been needing someone with your bravery to handle.
I'm dumb enough to do it. Alright.
We do have some investigation to do regarding that, well, note with a rather concerning signature, but we'll get back to you guys with that when we've done our initial investigation. We'll try to find you in about a week or so.
All right. We'll be off then. And he turns around and walks out.
All right.
I wave by.
Shuffle with my slippered feet out.
Oh, where'd you get those slippers?
These slippers, I've been wearing them the entire time I was here.
Well, you were wearing them yesterday.
I found them in the captain's room on the ship.
They look very comfortable. Ida's voice is just between Gerbeck and not Gerbeck.
Don't worry, I think Bobson's voice changes every time I speak.
Same.
Yep.
All right. Are we outside?
Are you outside?
I guess. If
I'm
nobody
almost
stops,
there yet. I'm still slippering out.
Yep, nobody's stopped you. The council kind of started conversing amongst each other.
well, should we make our way to the guard house? Hall? Whatever it was called.
Richard points out it's called Cool Watch Tower.
Oh,
The watchtower. What time is it?
Well, I think most of you are pretty early risers. Be before lunch, probably around 10.
Way too early. Going back to bed.
How do you want to grab food on the way?
yep.
Yeah,
A
sure.
hearty meal before a quest. Good idea. Also, my drink is empty.
I never would have guessed our weekly trip to the haunted house would make us so rich.
All it took was going in.
Well, I'm glad I met you, Bunch.
Give him a big thumbs up.
Feels good, man.
Up. I slap him on the back and tell him first round's on him.
If you say so, Sigvald. Go to the nearest restaurant. It's on the way to the guard tower.
Yeah, so you guys would be going to 12, and the nearest restaurant, or at least on the way, is either the Snapping Line or the Wicker Goat.
To the Wicker Goat.
Yes! Out of 5, I don't have to cook for people. I can just eat.
Alright, so you guys head to the Wicker Goat, drink a little
Yep.
bit, buy some food. hand in your quit notice?
I mean, I'd still basically be employed, but be like, well, the council's like wants me to help with some other stuff, so as long as I've got a room here, you can still like, I'll still be working, I guess.
You're taking a sabbatical.
Yeah.
I don't know how much food costs in D&D.
These leather boots I found, I'll give them to the guy whose name I forget as a gift, because they're pretty nice boots.
Lankus?
Yeah.
The tavern owner, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, are we getting absolutely shit-faced to celebrate before we go to the quests?
Bobson wouldn't be.
Wendell would drink a little bit, but he's not a heavy drinker, so probably not going to get shit-faced.
Okay, I'll just have a couple drinks.
Alright, so this is a modest inn. So the good meal costs about 2 silver. It's one silver because it's breakfast. It's the cheaper of the meals. And depending on how much you're drinking, ale is 4 copper a mug.
Oh, what a steal.
Or 2
Oh.
silver a gallon.
I missed. How much money did we make each?
235.71. And actually, you
So
guys
that'd
can just
be-
round yours up to 236 because I didn't
Oh.
give Richard or...
And I'll give myself the 29 silver.
Mm-hmm.
Did all the math on it.
You said 2 silver for a gallon?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, might as well. Fuck it.
I'll just give
Actually,
him a gold
gallon's
piece.
a lot for Wendell.
A gallon's a lot for normal people.
It's just a milk jug full.
Yeah.
I'm gonna opt for the not that much. I'm not gonna drink my entire weight in liquor.
The mug? You're going with a mug of liquor?
Yeah. So that would leave me with 6 copper.
Depends how long are we sitting here for a while, or is it just breakfast, drink, head out?
That's
Say
up
an
to you
hour or
guys.
so.
An hour or so? Yeah, I think we'll probably get the big one.
Hey.
But he's putting a gold piece down for his stuff and told him it's for later today if I make it back. And my to-go drink with a wink.
Bring the cup back this time.
Hey, I covered the expense.
There's only so many cups I can buy in this town.
Alright, I'll steal. We'll pick a couple extra glasses up next time we're sailing.
Well, we're going to the guard tower, boys.
Think so?
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's roll.
Alright. So, you guys head over to the guard tower, which I don't have a picture of.
Oh.
It is 60 feet tall.
Oh.
It's pretty old looking. Comparing it to the wall, it looks like it's about the same age as the big wall that you guys have been going through. But it's been a bit more maintained, so it's... You know, it's old, but not falling apart. As you guys approach, you notice a few guards kind of milling about, as it is the armory of Saltmarsh. And across, kind of across the street, you know, like right in this little area, there is a big board.
A notice board?
Yep.
Do I notice it?
Yep. I described it. You notice the notice board.
Well, let me go up and read what's on it.
Alright. So, there's a bunch of things posted on it. It, you know, as you guys kind of read through some of the notes, there's a lot of help wanted for dock employees and various things like that, where people in town just looking for some muscle to help them. You know, the odd old lady asking someone to come and till up her garden or things like that.
Well, that one's for Bobson.
Get you a date
Well,
yet?
her garden is a euphemism for, don't you?
Two of the notices do catch your eye as being a bit more interesting when compared to most of them. And there's one with giant writing at the top of it that says "The Hunt," and another that says "Trade Caravan Raids, Help Wanted."
Well, the hunt sounds pretty badass, so I'm gonna grab that one and read it.
All right. So as you read it over, these notes they're pretty bare bone. They kind of seem to have a format of how they're outlined. It's a pretty official looking kind of form that people seem to fill out. So the hunt says it starts with C. Kiorna at Kester's Leather Goods. A beast has been plaguing the outer reaches of Saltmarsh and needs to be dealt with. And the rewards are listed as well. It says 350 GP, and Kiorna will pay for the hides.
Oh, this one pays well. And I'm gonna show the group the hunt one.
Does it give any specifics on the type of beast?
It starts with
Fortunately, we have to talk to this leather worker.
That's right. Yeah, the first line was just C. Kiorna at Kester's Goods.
All right. Let's go find out what we're dealing with.
All right. Does anybody look at the second note, or just take the first one and go?
Might as well give a glance over the other notes.
All right.
I guess we'll see what the pay is on the other one.
So, the second note says, well, the first line is it says C. Eliander for more information. The brief description of it is an unknown group has been attacking some of our later caravans. The attacks have started recently. We don't know a whole lot. Yeah, that's a description. The reward says 280 gold plus whatever loot that you find dealing with this group. And then there's a note beside that part that says, "We don't care about the goods. We just want them to stop it."
It'd be very lucrative as well if this gang of brigands has caused enough commotion to bring this kind of attention. They could have a lot of stolen goods.
That's a good point.
Coin flipping for what quest you want to do or what?
Yep. Goes the hunt.
I like it.
That one sounds
Not
exciting.
that we can't do both. We just need to pick one before the other.
Indeed.
Which person is closest in town to see?
Richard would know, but Richard's mysteriously not there.
Would Gringus know where the leather worker is?
I believe so. Let me check. Yeah, Gringus, you do know where the leatherworking store is, and it is 11 on the map.
Oh, right beside us.
Oh, yep, literally across the road.
Well, that settles it for Sigvald.
Our shop's just down the road. Might as well start there.
You know him?
Yeah, sure.
We exchange goods from time to time.
Is he a decent guy to deal with?
You said it was a she, right, Brian?
I don't know if I said her name. The name's Kiorna, so you could probably guess. But yeah, it is a she.
She's a good woman.
That Sigvald raises an eyebrow and to that.
And he's come a long way in my lifetime. Women are allowed to own businesses now, Sigvald.
Wait, could they not before?
Yes.
Sigvald doesn't even have a comment. He's just flabbergasted.
All right, let's roll.
All right. So you guys head over. The guards kind of that were standing around just give you a nod. They don't really say much, and you walk down the road to this leather goods building. So you guys kind of see as you approach two separate buildings that both are styled the same way. Well, it's really one connected building. It has some arches that go in between the two halves with a walkway in the middle of them. As you get close, it starts to smell a little bit. It's not pleasant. It smells like, well, treating leather. If you guys remember Baldur's Gate, it was not pleasant. I don't remember the material that's used to treat leather.
Yes.
Yep. Ammonia.
Yes. Piss. Yeah, so it smells pretty strong of that. The left building more so than the right building. There's a big kind of sign above the right building that says Kester's Leather Goods. As you guys kind of walk in, the door, typical shop sound, it dings as the door runs across a bell. And you walk into a room that there's leather all over the place. There's rugs in one corner hanging against the wall. On the other corner, there's, shelves and shelves of boots and gloves and whatever leather armor you can imagine. And I don't know what else you make out of leather, but there's a lot of stuff here.
Water skins?
Belts.
Water
Straps
skins.
for saddles.
Oh, saddles is a
Lampshades.
good one. No lampshades,
Lampshades.
unfortunately.
Gimp suits.
Gimp suit.
Bobs and sheets.
All right, is there someone at the counter?
There is.
Also have to smell the same.
And I'm trying to find her picture.
He's going for that new leather scent.
So yeah, you see a person that's behind the counter that looks like, oh, I almost fucking deleted her. That would have been bad. Looks like that.
Whoa!
She's a pretty brawny, pretty brawny looking girl. You can tell she's, been a leather worker for a while. Probably hunted leather for a bit, or hunted animals for a bit.
I think Greg was the most surprised.
Hey, this isn't... Oh, this is her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I do not at all have a voice for it. I'm not even gonna try. Oh, what
You gotta try.
can I do? All right. Shut the
come
fuck
on,
up,
you got
Logan.
this. You got this.
I can hear Logan laughing from the basement.
Self-respect only holds you back.
I don't know how to do a female voice, as you could hear by Ida just sounding like Gerbeck.
Gotta go for it.
Oh, just wait. I need
Make it sound Nordic too.
make it sound Nordic. What's
Yeah.
a Nordic accent?
Yes. Yeah, but I'm just all the fucking
Swedish.
performance
You
anxiety
know the
now.
Swedish chef from the Muppets?
The only-
Turgan.
The only thing I remember from the Muppets is meh, 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 meh. Okay, that's what she says.
All right, Colton, give him a voice for her, and then you can try to copy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Don't put me on the spot. I'm not DMing.
I don't even know what Swedish people have for like mannerisms.
Meatballs.
Just making caricatures of Nordic people.
Yep.
All right, we'll come back to it. Oh, she's gonna be Southern.
Nice.
What can I do for y'all?
Okay, Kona. We're here about your beast problem. I'll slap the paper on the desk.
Ah, I was wondering when someone would come for that. It's only been posted for about 3 days. Oh, well, good luck.
What the hell are we?
Whereabouts is it spotted?
She pulls out a map. Well, last account I heard was, I don't know if this map's gonna be helpful. Northwest of here. This map sucks. It's not too useful. Yeah, about an hour northwest of here. There.
Ah, yes, it was rotated one
Yeah.
turn.
North is to the right. Not to be confused with the city map, in which north is to the left.
Is it across the river?
No.
I'll be along the trade road.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know how much you guys are familiar with the surroundings here, but
Not at all.
Saltmarsh is a pretty big town, and they don't all live within the walls. There's a lot of people that live in farmland in various tiny little communities surrounding Saltmarsh that we just provide services to them as if they were in Saltmarsh.
And this beast is killing people, I presume.
Yes, it's killed a few now. I personally don't know too much about this beast. Last I heard, it was a panther, which is strange for this part.
What's that?
And do I know anything about panthers?
What check is good for monsters? Like a nature check? Maybe a history?
Probably nature, if it is like a beast.
Yeah. Give me a nature check.
With animal hand.
Oh my god, Bobson!
You
Yeah,
just
with
heard the
the
word
brain.
panther in his brain. Just beep boop beep boop. Here's all the info.
Had a brain
Printed out like
blast.
a 90s printer.
All right. Yeah,
It's like a fax.
you know a lot about panthers, and that it's very likely not a panther in the forest climate that Saltmarsh is in.
Panther belongs to the family Pantherinae, dating also the genus Panthera and Neophilis. Could be a
Encounter a lot of those in the mines, Bobson.
I've done a lot of reading there, Sigvald. But I don't think that the panther would be in this climate. Maybe it could be a cousin, Puma concolor, or also known as a cougar.
That's possible. The only description I've got of it is a large black cat.
All
It
the
doesn't fit the coloring for a cougar. Perhaps some kind of mutation.
Any description I had comes from a presumably scared individual, so I would take it with a grain of salt, at best.
Has there been any survivors of this panther attack?
There's no survivors that I know of yet. A few witnesses.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess she kind of gives you the map that she had. That's in a lot more detail than this. Kind of shows the outer reaches and points to one of the fringe areas and say, oh, go discuss with these people. They might have a bit more information. These are the people in this area are the ones who've reported it to me. I'm more interested in its hide than what it's doing, though, personally. So I know that note there mentioned that I would pay you 350 gold for doing it. That's on behalf of the town, but I'll pay you an additional. Well, assuming they are panthers, I'll give you an additional 25 gold per pelt you can bring back. But that being said, if they turn out to be not panthers, I will pay you roughly about 100 gold per challenge rating of the creature.
What was that you said there? For what of the creature?
Challenge rating. It's how some gladiator arenas rate things against groups of 4 adventurers in combat.
Yes, that sounds like a very standardized way of describing encounters with creatures of all natures.
It's pretty effective, although it leaves a bit to... it's not the best.
Wendell just looks so confused in this moment.
Gringus has dollar signs in his eyes. Well, you best be going then. He's trying to hurry up.
Oh, one thing I can mention about panthers, although with how much your friend here knows about them, that the DM should have said this. Panthers get a bit stronger at... One sec. Maybe. They're a lot more stealthy than at night.
Like most creatures.
So if you're
Like most cats.
going today, you should move quick.
Well, I guess we should get going then.
Will do.
Yep.
With a nod of my drink. Alright. Lead the way, Gringus. I have no idea who these farmers are.
Well, thanks for your help. We'll be back. And he hurries out the door.
Wave goodbye, and then follow him.
When you open the door, you're reminded of the horrible stench of ammonia. All right. So you guys, I'm assuming, head there. Is there any preparation or anything that you would like to do before you head out?
Gringus really looks like he's in a hurry.
On the way there, I'll just tell Bims if we do get into a fight to just fly up into the air so he doesn't get hurt.
I don't know what noises he makes, but he makes one at you that sounds like a confirmation that he understood.
He sounds like Waluigi.
Nintendo, please don't sue.
On that note, I don't want Bims anymore.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding.
I want him even more.
Yep. Alright. Wait, he can like telepathically emit like thoughts at people, right? Like simple thoughts and emotions.
Yeah, they technically, when I misread it when he first talked to you, but yeah, they can telepathically convey they're basically empaths. They can like force their emotions upon people. So, you know, if you look at them and ask them a question, they can kind of respond emotionally. It's in enough of a way that you could tell that this response meant okay, or that I'm hungry or curious.
Yeah. All right.
And they also vocalize a bit, like out loud, in weirder animal noises.
All right.
Gore,
What's up?
you know these parts. Why don't you lead the way? And I'll hand him the map.
Hold the map up and down.
Well, I had a map as well of the area. Didn't you come through here on your way into town?
Yeah. I pull out my map.
All right, you see Wendell's. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Wendell shows everybody his map. It's not useful for this.
Or at all.
Oh, seems like you came directly from the northwest, right where we have to go.
Well, I guess so, yeah. I just kind of followed the road.
Yep, I mean,
Encounter any Panthera onca on your way?
I don't know what that means.
Jaguar.
I don't know what that is.
A black cat.
No.
Well then, I guess we go look.
Onwards.
Words indeed.
I'm totally not trying to find a map on my other screen.
Alright, time to roll 2d4, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, this one's
Wait.
not quite as bad as Avernus.
Gotta have Catelyn roll his trick on the Devil's Ride first.
All right.
No.
Please no. I almost died last time.
No balls.
No balls. All right, so you guys kind of head along a path. You walk for about half an hour, and start to see kind of less and less houses as you get further and further out. But yeah, you kind of arrive at what you think is the right area. I mean, it's not hard to find. She just pretty much said the last house on the left.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
Do we see the house?
Nope, because I made this encounter 10 minutes ago.
I've seen this
10 minutes
movie
before
before.
stream. All the houses in this area kind of are very similarly built. They're, log houses, thatch roofs. Looks like if a strong wind came around.
From a certain wolf.
Or a certain wolf. No, it would withstand a certain wolf. But, yeah, they're not well built. I mean, these people out here are mostly, anybody with worth any money that isn't just a fisherman would live in town. For the most part, these are, farmers, lumberjacks. People just kind of getting by at a minimum way.
Simple folk.
My kind of people.
Indeed. Well, I'll be checking around for tracks or anything out of the ordinary.
Maybe I should,
Bloodstains.
I'll go, up to some of these houses and see if they saw anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Wendell on that one.
All right. So as Gringus starts kind of looking around, behind or amongst the houses for anything, you guys go up to the first house. Gringus, give me an investigation check.
I'll help you with that. I'll go with you.
Oh,
All right. With advantage. All right.
Nice.
So as you kind of, scout along the backyards, peeking over whatever fences you can. Most of them aren't too much, kind of white picket fences almost, but worse. Yeah, you notice a set of pretty heavy footprints that do not look like a humanoid set of footprints. And as you follow the trail into the house, like into the yard, you notice a bit of blood in the, I guess the backyard of the house that, well, it was exactly as she said, the last house on the left, the one that Wendell and Sigvald are just knocking on the door of.
Can we tell if the creature's been here recently?
I guess with that investigation check, the footprints don't look today recent, but you can roll a survival check for a bit more.
I'll be helping you as well.
Once they've pointed out the footprints, can I take a look at them to see if I understand the anatomy of whatever the creature is?
Yeah.
Recorder?
Sorry, add crit. So as Gore kind of looks around and reaches his lance over the fence to kind of pick up some of the blood to see how fresh it is, or I guess poke at some of the blood stains, and really analyzes those footprints with Gringus pointing out the odd thing. These don't look like the freshest. You think that this attack, whatever happened here, was 2 nights ago.
Gringo's got at least a 2-day head start on us.
Seems like we're a bit late to the party.
Indeed.
And Bobson, you can give me a nature check, because you're trying to identify.
God damn!
Nice.
All right. One sec.
Bobson is one with nature.
He's read a lot of National Geographics.
So,
Yep.
as you're looking at these footprints and kind of analyzing the paw prints in some of the muddier areas, these things do look like, well, they look like panther footprints, but they are much larger than what you'd expect a panther to look like. As I look up the panther stat block to confirm that that's actually right. You're the panther expert. How much does a panther weigh?
Yeah.
What kind of panther are we talking about? Because panther can refer to jaguar, leopard, the black panther, or the white panther.
A black panther.
230 pounds.
Probably more than that.
I'm referencing the actor.
Okay, a black panther is like 100 kilograms in the absolute upper limits, so these are thick footprints and a lot more sunken into the ground than you'd expect. And actually, upon looking at kind of the footprints in a bit more detail, you realize that something's amiss with how many footprints there are. It doesn't.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it doesn't quite look like there was a single panther that walked through here, but there isn't enough footprints for it to be 2 distinct panthers.
It's a centipede panther.
We have 1.5 panthers of quite an exceptional size. Or 1 6-legged beast.
Can we tell where the tracks went?
Yeah, I'd say with your 3 guys' roles combined, sitting here discussing the tracks and what happened, it kind of looks like the tracks leave from a nearby wooded area, and then some sort of scuffle happened in this yard, and they went back pretty much into the same wooded area. They definitely tried to walk as carefully as they could on the same trail, but once the trail kind of reaches to the woods, the woods are not too far away. You're kind of right at the edge of town. They're only about 50 feet. You can't follow the tracks anymore.
Clever devil. I bet it's a person wearing fake panther feet strapped to them.
Just
So
made a mistake on the number of prints that they would need. They just stamped in more footprints than necessary. It's the simplest conclusion.
all right. So while you guys were doing that, Wendell and Sigvald walk up to the front door of this house and give it as hard of a knock as Wendell could, I imagine.
Yeah, which is not very hard.
I'm assuming Wendell's leading the way, as Wendell always does.
Yep.
All right. You kind
Somewhere
of
between brave and foolish.
sitting there. Sigvald, you hear a bit of a, somebody walking around in the house as if they're getting up and coming to the door, and you hear them move some stuff out of the way. Wendell doesn't hear shit because he's Wendell.
Yep.
And a few seconds later, the door opens, just a crack. Hello?
Hi, I'm Wendell.
I point to Bims.
This is Bims.
I point to Sigvald.
And that's Sigvald. We're here to look into the animals that were around here recently.
And kind of at the mention of animals, he lets out an almost an audible sob. Yeah. What about them?
Well, I was hoping you could tell us, like, if you saw them, like, around here, where they might have gone.
He kind of closes the door, and you hear a chain fall off the door, and it opens. And yes, come in. My name's Erstan. I did not just use a random name generator to come up with this.
You're Stan?
Stan, I heard.
Erstan Meadowcrest. All right. You guys.
Meadowfest, I'm Bobson. This is the rest of the group. And we are looking for a six-legged panther. Or one person with two taxidermized panther feet.
Where did the rest of you come from?
Well, they were somewhere. I don't know what they were doing. They do weird stuff sometimes.
I came from my mother.
Now, Saltmarsh.
All right, all of you can come in. And he, opens the door and invites you guys all inside.
Head in.
He's a pretty young man. Well, I guess he's kind of in his 30s, medium build. From what you can gather, looking around in his kind of home that's a pretty messy right now. It's in a bit of a disarray. You kind of get, Sean, that you think he's a lumberjack.
Is he okay?
No. No, he is pretty visibly not okay. It looks like something pretty traumatic just happened to this guy.
Jesus.
Please sit down. And he kind of shakily takes a seat in his chair. So nobody's believed me when I've talked about these, except one young lady from town. But I'm not too sure what I saw. It was pretty late outside, and it was a few days ago, and I had just got home from working and had a few in me, if you know what I mean.
Bobson nods sagely. Bobs, yes.
Not at all, as I'm holding a drink.
My wife was out in the garden, just finishing up her day's work, and I heard a loud scream, and I kind of ran around the side of the house and seen, well, a panther running with her by the neck into the woods.
Oh, jeez.
And I guess anybody who wants can make an insight check.
No, I believe him.
Yep, Wendell would have no reason.
That insight check is now a 19 as I use one of my portent dice.
Oh!
All right. So yeah, the three of you that incited him know that when he was talking about the panther, it was pretty shaky. It kind of seems like he said panther because nobody else has believed him, so he doesn't want to sound crazy.
Can you further describe this panther? All the details you recall will be helpful.
Well, if I saw what I think I saw, I'm not sure that you guys want to go after it. Wait, something's weird's
Please.
happening with stream.
Oh,
Mister might be fucking with cords.
Oh, that's a cat.
Fucking Mister. Sorry about that. All right, so, well, I was when I came around, well, I couldn't quite see from where I was, but it looked like it had tentacles.
It's a girl.
And it was, well, I don't, shimmering is the only way I can think of to describe it.
That sounds weird.
Can I deduce anything from this description?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check to see if you recognize a beast of this nature. All right. Through your eras of study, and I have no idea what's happening with the Elgato, but yeah, during your study, you've definitely read about creatures like this before, and you kind of, you sit there and you whom and your ha, and it sounds an awful lot like a displacer beast.
All right, I will let the group know that I've read of such creatures before, and that they're quite formidable as they kind of create an illusion that they're not quite where they appear to be.
Huh. I've never heard of something like that before. That's
Yeah,
weird.
you've definitely
That
never.
does not surprise me.
I was gonna say you've definitely never seen one or read about it or done anything more than just the theory behind it. Sorry, I need to. We gotta take a quick 5-minute break.
Yeah, that's fine.
While
Yeah,
I
yeah.
try to
Shadow
see
keep
what's
flashing on
happening
there.
with it. Yeah.
Displacer beast called good old Kitty Whippins.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick 5 as I take a look at this capture card and try to see what's going on. Holy shit, not a 1500 minute break.
We'll be back in approximately. I don't even know. I can't do that math in my head.
A day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be right back. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. New setup, gonna have a few issues. I might have fixed it a little bit, but I don't think so. We're probably just gonna have to deal with it till tomorrow. So yeah, anyways, where were we? All right, you were talking to the guy about what's been plaguing this part of Saltmarsh, and he described what Bobson thinks might be a displacer beast. Oh, there it goes. I think it's the HDMI cable. We'll fix it.
Eventually it'll be dealt with, but today is not that day.
The guy kind of starts to break down a little bit, and tears. You could tell he's holding back some tears. Whatever it was, it took my wife. Please, whatever you can do to help would be greatly appreciated.
Any idea where it went?
I seen it run off into the forest, but apart from that, I don't really know. I couldn't see it. It was dark.
So I shuffle up to him and I awkwardly pat him on the shoulder, and I say, "If it's any consolation, your wife probably did not suffer." And I just look back at the group and I shake my head.
He kind of like 1,000-yard stares out the window.
We'll kill this beast. Don't worry.
I assumed that she did not make it, but you
Yes,
know, one can hope.
Is there anything that she had that you maybe want back? Like a wedding
Her life.
ring or
Uh,
well, I didn't mean like that, but you know. I mean, Bobson's really powerful, so maybe he can do something.
well, she had her wedding ring on her. She always did.
I look
If
down at the necklace of colored rocks and with the ring on it that I have.
I'll get it back for you. Don't worry.
he meekly smiles at you.
Well, we'd best be heading out. There's a lot of travelers on the line.
There's a few of my neighbors had a similar incident occur. I know one more recent than myself, but I don't know how much more they could see. When we talked about it, they didn't have much else to offer.
Did they also maybe lose some loved ones in this, or is it more like livestock?
Depends who you ask. There's a bit of both.
Well, time is of the essence.
Yeah.
This is gonna walk towards the door.
Forced.
Yeah, so at this point, it is about noon.
Well, I'm gonna start walking into the forest where we saw the tracks come in.
I know, we disguise Wendell as a big juicy steak, and that'll lure the grouper out.
I see no problem with that plan.
Yep, me neither. Glad you agree.
Alright, so this encounter-ish thing, I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different.
I don't like change.
Well, that's too fucking bad.
Well, we're working for a lot of change, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I think this map should be good. Let me do one final check. Yeah. Alright, so you guys walk into the forest, and I'm gonna drag you to this new scene.
We found it already. Roll initiative.
All
In
right,
the forest.
you guys
Ah,
should
yeah.
see a fantastic looking grid.
Yep.
Very good forest.
Very detailed.
You guys can draw some trees if you'd like.
I said that.
I'm not gonna stop you from doing anything you want to mark up this map. I'm gonna put each of your tokens on here. So this corner is where you've seen the tracks enter. Kalendal is not part of this adventure. Neither is Richard.
An odd-looking tree.
Yes, it's got interesting roots.
All right, I wrote some notes
There's no
about
stable base.
Yep.
how I expect this to work. So
God damn.
Been hit with lightning and split a little bit up here.
So the rules of how this kind of works is that it's a pretty sizable forest, and it's pretty thick. It's similar to what some of you guys would know that the what's the forest near Saltmarsh called? Holy shit.
Redwood?
Yeah, that's the one. It's similar to what the Dreadwood is in appearance, but not as dangerous as the Dreadwood. It's very thick. As soon as you guys walk in, the light is pretty much gone. It's very hard to get through. So traveling through each one of these squares, just due to the thickness of the square, takes roughly an hour. And at this point, you guys are trying to, you're hunting something. So, the way that it works is each of you guys can roll initiative. Well, actually, we won't even roll initiative. Each of you guys can declare what you want to do to attempt to track this thing. You can pretty much use any skill check that you can describe as being useful into how you're going to try to gather more information. But the first thing I'd like you all to do is roll a stealth check, assuming you're trying to do this sneaky. All right, so there is 5 of you. All right, so with those rolls, before I tell you the results, anybody can sacrifice their first action to help somebody else be stealthy using a survival check if they want. But it will give up kind of their first... Basically, you're trying to help your friend instead of focusing on searching for the beast for this first round.
I'll probably notice Gringus gets stuck somewhere and try and help him out.
Damn bushes.
Yeah, they're really spiky and annoying.
All right. So, yeah, if you're going to try to help him, Wendell, roll a survival check for me.
I'm going to use a charge of foreknowledge for advantage.
Okay.
15.
All right. So, Gringus now has a 17 in his stealth.
Oh.
Nice.
Is anybody else sacrificing their first kind of thing to help with stealths?
Nah, if I'm trying to be stealthy and roll an 8, I'm probably not self-aware enough.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So Now, with that, I guess everybody but Wendell gets a turn to try and track this creature. So yeah, you can use any check. Anybody can help anybody else, but you only get one, and this is kind of summarizing what you're doing for roughly an hour.
Looking for footsteps and
Okay.
broken sticks.
We can make any check, you said.
As long as you can describe to me how it would benefit what you're doing. It's like, you could say your well, performance is a bad example, but
You're pretending to know what you're doing.
yeah. If you can give me a good reason as to why the check you're making would help you find or track something, then I will accept it.
I'll check with my smithing tools to create a tuning fork that's in tune with Phase Beast.
A tuning fork that's in tune with phase beasts.
Yep. Using magic.
All right. Give me a smithing tools with intelligence as the modifier.
The fork works best if you hit it really, really hard.
You do need to know the phase beast phases. But I guess before you roll 2, what's anybody else want to do?
Bobson would try to be investigating like broken branches through the underbrush, looking for blood drips on the ground from the wife. I guess using his investigation, if he can.
All right. Mitch, you said the same thing, right?
Didn't say blood. I said yeah, but
Well.
I said footsteps. But yeah, and I'm using survival for it.
Okay. You're kind of trying to look for, with your knowledge of survival, where you would walk through a trail like this, or how you would
basically,
navigate
I'm
a jungle.
Basically, I'm just trying. Yeah, like tracking.
All right. So, Sigvald and Wendell, or just Sigvald, because Wendell used his to help.
I think I'm gonna climb the trees and kind of try to stay near and above Bobson.
Are you just trying to like?
I'm just Tarzaning the top.
Are
I'm
you
gonna
just
use
watching them or
acrobatics for
trying
it.
to like point them? Okay, so you are trying to like look for this trail from the treetops.
I'm more so keep an eye for it, just from what I know from just large jungle cats. Seeing this frail old man shuffle around is screaming prime target. And also, lots of them put their kill in the trees. So I'm kind of just checking the top for corpses or anything else up here. And just trying to keep an eye on this thing before it jumps on Bobson if it does. From above. And acrobatics is what I'll use.
All right.
If that makes sense to you.
Yeah. So what you're doing? Well, yeah. Okay. So
Main thing is keeping pace with Bobson. So he's just shuffling along the ground. So I figure it's
like
more of an
you're
acrobatics check to keep up.
more looking like basically keeping a lookout to make sure you don't get ambushed. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Give me your acrobatics check. All right.
Nice.
So I guess that's what I have written down, plus Logan's. So going through it, Cal and you kind of hammer out a tuning fork out of some materials that you happen to have. And I don't know how tuning forks work, but you kind of give it a ding and you think it might be doing something. You kind of walk around this little square. and you point it in various directions, and it seems to be resonating more when you go to the southern area than it does any of the other directions, but not enough for you to say it definitively went south. You don't know if that's the case because of the tuning forks actually doing something, or if it's just happenstance.
One of those water dowsing rods is what he made.
Pretty much. So Bobson, you kind of look about the thick of the forest, trying to just find this path, looking for any sign of blood, and you don't really see anything. Sigvald acrobating around you scares you once because you didn't know he was up there, and then you're a bit conscious of it. Sigvald, from up where you are, you don't really notice much, but with what your goal is, that's a good thing. At no point did a body kind of enter the trees near you. You know, you can't see a displacer beast stalking anybody from your group, but you're not quite sure where they went. Gore, while you're looking, you see what you feel is a pretty solid trail. And, you know, as you look through the ferns and the underbrush around the forest here, you see a pretty distinct path where it looks like all the ferns are bent ever so slightly, and the path does head south.
Alright, I'm gonna point that out.
All right.
Impossible. I found no evidence of the beast.
I'm sorry,
Oh, it's
Bobson.
right above me! Look out!
Your eyes must be going.
When Bobson's like, oh,
I-
it's in the trees
I
above
should
me.
never-
Cast Fireball.
Oh.
I don't have Fireball.
So yeah, you guys can definitively say, with what you found, that there is no trail this direction or this direction, but there is definitely a trail to the south.
Just as the tuning fork told me. Onwards.
Alright, let's go that way.
I can't move my token, by the way.
What?
Yeah, neither can I.
All
Are
right.
they on the map layer?
Probably. Can you move them now?
Yep.
Right ahead of the tree.
Oh. All right. So, yeah, you follow the trail here, and Gore, you do kind of still notice where the trail is, but it does start to fall off a little bit, and you think it goes south again, but you're not 100% sure. You'd have to do that action again to kind of regather the trail, but this time with advantage.
With advantage?
Yep. All right. Does anybody else want to do anything, or are you just entrusting Gore, who points out that the trail just continues south?
I will try to lure the beast in by doing my best impression of a hot female phase beast.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going to be helping Gringus with notes from the books that I've read on the physiology of displacer beasts, and like coach him on what sounds a female would make, so he's going to have advantage on this.
All right.
My portent says he rolled an 18.
Although I did completely forgot to make their turn, so 1 sec. That's a lie.
Just
It's
a yodel.
plus 4, not plus 3. All right. Yes. Something. All right. So yeah, Gore comes in and looks around a little bit, the trail goes that way. And then Gringus makes a horrific, like, you know that weird sound cats make at like 3 in the morning sometimes for no reason? It's that noise. It just oddly good. He makes that noise. And he hears, I guess, give me a perception check.
Throw up at that noise.
Like everybody?
I guess you, Gringus and Bobson, since they, well, anybody that's not actively doing something else. So I guess Sigvald and Wendell, what would you two be doing?
I'd be staying in the trees, but if I'm just following the group, I guess it's up to you if I have to roll to stay doing that.
Since you're kind of just being a lookout, no, you could roll a perception check.
I'll attempt the perception check as well for looking out. Just
All right.
Poorly.
Oh, not bad. So all of you guys but Bobson hear what you think is a response from deeper in the woods. I guess assuming that, you know, this is south and this is east. It sounds like it's southeast, but it's pretty far away.
Can we move multiple squares?
You can move 1 square a turn, but you can move on an angle with the same cost. As it's like it'd take the same kind of hour to chop through the angles because D&D has non-Euclidean geometry.
That's exactly it. That is exactly how a female displacer beast would sound, based on my studies of their vocal cords.
You got real into Displacer Beast down there, didn't you?
So I guess before you guys move though, Gore is pretty sure that they would have went south, but you know, with 2 pretty good survival checks in a row, Gore does kind of come to the conclusion that they likely then cut to the east.
Nice.
Think you can find a trail deeper in this way, Gore?
I could sure try.
So yeah, that since you guys did come in from this way, you're not really following the trail anymore. So what are you guys doing in this square to kind of... Oh, actually, one sec. All right. Yeah, what are you guys doing to try to hunt this beast?
I'll hit my tuning fork one again.
I guess I'll look for a new trail.
All right. You're trying to re-pick up the trail. You're doing the tuning fork.
I would be recalling everything I've read about displacer beast habitat and trying to figure out where it would have gone from here to make like a den or something.
All right.
So I'll try to use my arcana, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds good. Trying to recall your teachings.
Nice.
All right. Wendell and Sigvald.
I'm staying near Bobson to keep him from getting ate in the trees. So I guess
Here.
just perception.
Yeah, trying to make sure you guys don't get ambushed.
Yeah.
All right.
God. Proficient in that check too.
I'll help out Gringus with his tuning fork, I guess. We can still do helps.
Yep. So Gringus can roll with advantage.
Wendell, how are you helping him with the tuning fork?
I just go, well, that sounded terrible. Try it again.
That's a valid help. So Gringus, with your tuning fork, you kind of walk around the jungle and point it in various directions, hitting it every so often to make it resonate again, and it kind of sounds, similar to the howl that this thing's to the southeast of you, but you don't really know for certain it's definitely not resonating to the north or to the west. Bobson, with your roll, you are almost positive that this thing, Sigvald kind of has the right idea, and that it kind of likes to bring its prey up into the tree, or up into trees, but you would be certain that this thing's going deeper into the woods. It's not going to sit on the edge, and just kind of from the area and where you guys entered to the southeast would be deeper in the woods. And Gore, you look around again and find that similar, now that you've seen it a few times, pretty obvious path with the ferns kind of all bent into various directions that goes straight east to this square.
Looks like it's going this way, boys. And I'm gonna start going that way. I trust myself.
I'll follow Gore.
Acts with the behavior of a displacer beast.
I agree.
All right. Yeah, and I guess Sigvald, sitting up in the trees, you kind of get distracted by like a little squirrel. It's like a squirrel far away on a branch, and you're like, I think if the displacer beast went that way, it would probably have ate the squirrel, so it must have. Yeah, the direction the group's going is fine, and you don't really notice any sign of a displacer or any displacer beast sitting up in a tree.
Look good up here.
All right. It is now 2:30 as you guys have kind of walked through this forest.
It's time for our dentist appointments.
2:30.
Uh,
All right, so Gore, with how good you're rolling, you do immediately spot that trail kind of bends up to the north. However,
What the fuck?
what do you guys want to do, given the other information that you've had?
I'll put my ear against the ground and try to listen for it.
All right. What kind of check do you want to make for that?
Either perception or survival. They're both the same.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check. All right. What about the rest of you? And I mean, Gore, or Mitch, you can do something too, if you want. You have noticed that the trail goes north, though. It won't take any extra time for you to do something else.
Hey, Wendell, think you could make the displacer mating call?
Wendell's dead. Rip.
He's going forever. Well, I guess I'm just keeping an eye up here.
All right.
So, perception again?
Yep.
Oh,
No.
Jesus.
sun's gotten down enough that the shades are useful.
All right. Bobson and Wendell, what are you two doing? F and
They're
chat.
both gone.
I'm
Thinking, Corey.
probably not close enough, but I will. This will be like on the ready.
Okay.
Sorry, I really had to be there.
Mhm.
I'll use minor illusion, I think, and recreate the sound of the displacer beast mating call.
All right. Give me an Arcana check to see if, make it resonate kind of in the right direction and high enough up in the trees that it works.
9.
All right. You remake the sound, but you kind of just put it on the ground right in front of you.
Sure, okay.
And as like the sound starts happening, one of the other people, no, it was a breezy day this morning. So as the sound starts happening, like a breeze comes through, and if you put it in the right spot, it probably would have carried. But since you kind of made it start from the ground, you don't hear anything in response.
Oh, I guess you said I have a free action, right?
Yeah, you can do, anything that you want to glean additional information, but you do know that the trail went to the north.
Alright, well, whenever I have the opportunity to use a free action, I don't know if it uses magic or not, but kind of with its name, it kind of sounds like it does. So I'm gonna use magic awareness.
All right.
Nice.
Feel the magic in the air.
Hmm?
Between him and Wendell.
Ew.
I don't know if that would. Yeah. I'll say that with that, it could be useful. But before I guess give you guys the results, I'll see what Bobson's up to for this search.
Bobson is tired of walking, so he's got the big brain idea that he's going to become prey. So he's going to fake a cramp and start to lay down. Just tell the group to go on without him.
All right.
Oh! Ow! My leg! I am definitely the weakest member of the herd and would be called by a predator.
You guys are all pretty certain that he's faking it.
Hang on.
Yeah, I guess you can roll
Oh, shit, I
insight
am.
if you're curious, but it was not your guys' passive insight would kind of trump his performance.
My plan is still to watch him, so doesn't matter.
Right, well, I'll follow Gore wherever he goes.
All right, so Gore, with your I guess use of magic awareness, you're pretty certain that the trail goes north, and in fact you do detect some, a little bit of an essence of magic, but I'm gonna draw on the screen in a nice yellow because it's the most visible. Okay, we'll pick red. So you know that the trail does go here into that where I drew that circle, and you can feel the magic here as well in the below that tree there. But you also feel a pull in this square.
What the fuck?
And then I guess in your square you felt some magic, and as well as the square you guys just left.
This is displaced.
Something fucky's going on.
You couldn't really tell like the school of magic, but it seems like something magical was in those kind of regions, is how I want to phrase it. So it's not like exactly, the spell description what it did, but it helped you learn something about this, tracking this beast.
Alright.
And I think that's really all the information you guys would gather. Oh, Sigvald rolled really well. So Sigvald, from up in your tree, you're kind of scanning the tree line looking for something. And similar, you don't see too much from up here, but you do notice a bit of a trail to the southeast, like as you kind of glance down. It looks like the beast. It did go north, but way off in the distance to the southeast, and kind of like this next square here, you see just the slightest glimpse of what looks like a beast that kind of rounded into that tile.
Alright. Well, let the party know that description, and that's my vote on where to go.
It seems very fishy. It is very possible that we are being stalked.
Ah,
That's what they do.
Yeah.
All right.
what if we tried Bobson's idea? And just let it come to us.
We could definitely try that.
I'll pull
Owie, my leg!
out my cook's utensils.
It's like I can start cooking something. Make a good smell.
Can I try and hunt an animal for Wendell to cook?
Yeah, give me a hot second.
We only have cold ones.
Yep. Fresh out.
Only don't microwave well.
All right. Yeah, you can definitely like look around and find something that you guys could cook up, like a little squirrel you could hunt. There's not really any big game in this woods.
Just need something to create a scent that wouldn't smell good to an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Here comes the failure one.
Here comes the worst survival
Yup.
check.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, it's not bad. You don't see any wildlife in this kind of particular vicinity, but you do gather some, or basically herbs that you know to be aromatic. You don't necessarily know that if animals enjoy that aromatic, but you know if you burnt them, you'd know.
Actually, I'm gonna pull out a ration and let Wendell warm it up. Maybe it'll smell good. I'll probably have like fish or something, because that would probably be what I eat.
And given that you guys, yeah, a ration that was purchased in Saltmarsh would very feasibly be like some dried fish, like fish jerky almost.
Alright, I hand Wendell some fish.
Alright.
Say, cook this up, young lad.
You got it.
And I'll start cooking that to the best of my abilities.
All right.
Right, Armstrong.
Hey.
Give me what's a good check with your chef's utensils?
I do want to suggest we give Bobson a little bit of space.
Oh yeah.
Just,
I'll
I
find
don't
a
want
little,
to-
like,
So I guess were you guys staying in this tile where you are doing it, or were you moving here and then doing it?
depends how big this is. What is this area?
it's been like an hour worth of travel each time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
I don't really
thick
want to be an
travel.
hour away from Bobson
Yeah.
if he gets jumped.
Like I would say that how big are these tiles? Probably
Should we
about
go-
300 meters by 300 meters. Like they're big enough that doing something to search for like a path is a pretty considerable amount of effort.
Yeah.
Could head to the next tile and then try this there.
That's
I'm
where the
gonna
train is to go.
Move about, I don't know, 80 meters from Bobson, but stay in the trees near him.
It's like you're staying in the tile basically,
Yeah.
but trying to like hide away in the bush.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to make him the easier looking target.
I'm gonna try and find a brush and hide in it, but I'm gonna try and find one that's pretty close where I can get to him pretty fast.
Yeah, I'll basically just be like in the bush, just like if like say Bobson's in a bit of a clearing, I'll be like in the bush around the clearing.
I'm gonna roll out my bedroll and cover it with in like little twigs and stuff, and then I'm gonna go inside my bedroll and hide in there,
He's got a green bedroll, so
making my own like
Um,
shitty ghillie suit kind of thingy.
I'll be standing behind a tree with my guts hanging out the side.
all right. Oh, I missed one. All right. So
And how long are we waiting here? Because I'll probably be whistling off tune as I try to transcribe spells into my spell book.
I guess that's up to you guys how long you want to sit here and wait for something to happen.
We can wait for like an hour after food's finished or something.
Yeah.
yeah. Another hour of Bobson being open and food cooking scent.
All right. Everybody give me perception checks.
I
Except
believe it
Bobson,
could-
who's trying to transcribe spells.
Now, do I get advantage on this because of danger sense, or is this for something else?
Let me read the wording on danger sense.
It says
Um,
uncanny sense on things nearby aren't as they should be.
no, this is just to. I guess the perception checks are just to kind of see if you can determine that your ambush is actually doing anything.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and no Bobson because so Gringus and Wendell, you two kind of sit there listening, but get distracted and aren't focused too much in your listening. You don't really hear anything. Sigvald and Gore, on the other hand, well, you also don't hear much at all, and it's actually eerily quiet. There's no, like, now that you sat in this kind of deeper in the woods and you're actually sitting here listening, you don't hear much of anything at all. There's even in terms of birds chirping, there's almost nothing. But from sitting there, you're pretty sure that your ambush didn't actually work. And you guys kind of sit there for a while. Every so often you hear a breeze ripple through these woods that you're now a bit deep into. Is it 3:30 or 4:30? I think it's 3:30.
Yeah.
I did forget to say last time it is actually 4:30. But yeah, you guys sit here and listen, and you're trying to trap or lure this beast out. And yeah, it is eerily quiet. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Loggers.
We'll
Forest.
pick up the riveting hunt next week. Yeah, I think so. We'll pick up the riveting hunt next week. Join us tomorrow as we start our new adventure. Actually, it was Colton's birthday this weekend, so we're giving him a kind of week off of Avernus, and we're introducing another campaign called Tomb of Annihilation, being run by Blake. we're going to start cycling in that campaign as well, similar, just sticking with our Sunday Mondays, but one of us DMs will get a week off every second week because we'll keep cycling. So we'll pick Saltmarsh back up next Monday, have Avernus next Sunday, and Tomb of Annihilation tomorrow.
Yep.
But with that, let's vote on inspiration.
I want to give it to Gringus for his strangely effective tuning fork.
Who was it that made the initial mating call? Was that also Gringus?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm giving mine to Gringus for that.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna give it to Gringus for 2 nat 1s on deception.
Oh, I rolled all 3 crit fails this session.
Yep.
Yo, to Gringus for his ultra stealthy hiding.
Well, I would give mine to Bobson. Just because this sick RP makes me laugh every time.
All right. So I think that gives it to Gringus, unless there's chat votes.
I have double
Never
inspiration.
chat votes.
One day there'll be chat votes.
If I get inspiration while I already have it, do they cancel each other out?
Oh, yep.
Shit.
Yep.
You get
Like
some
advantage and
already.
Two positives
disadvantage.
just makes it positive.
Oh,
Basic math.
thanks, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
This should be your motivation to actually use your inspirations in a session, because you can't hold 2.
True. But I want to save my inspirations to land the earthquake.
Girthquake?
That is a valid reason to hold on to them.
I even gave him a spell or an attack in his book called Girthquake.
Nice.
My next action was going to be to ask Bobson if these things are nocturnal, like I suspect. Is why our ambush didn't do fuck all. But I'll have to do that for next week. But remind me if I forget when we do it. That is what Sigwald wanted to do here, so.
All right. There you go. And with that, thanks for watching, everybody, and see you tomorrow.
That's all, folks.
Good night.
I think we got to stall for 2 more seconds for the raid timer.